Yeah, right now I'm just making myself lunch, which I should also probably put my charge back in, because I'm also, as you can see, I didn't really think this entirely through. Screw charger. A little moment. Sorry. Sorry, just drank pop, so that's why there's the awkward pause. But anyways, yeah, I figured this would be a good time for us to bond outside of me just talking about Star Wars or me live streaming. Make myself macaroni and cheese. That's what I'm making myself. But I figured also this be a good time for you guys to ask me any questions if any of you are decided to join me in this live stream. But till then, cause I feel like sharing like the reasoning behind me making this YouTube channel and why I make videos. So the reason why I want, well, as any other YouTuber, the reason why I made this channel is to make YouTube videos. But took a little while for me, cause I was kind of nervous, and I was kind of like shy. So me having like stage fright per se, kind of held me back from making YouTube channels for a while. And then I, like, in 2013, I want to say, I forgot which month and day, I, discovered this awesome, singer called Christine Grimmie. Hold on, be right back. And she was talented, very beautiful. Heard a few of her songs, and ever since then, she has been my favorite singer. And even though I think it was mainly for to sing per se, in one of her videos she was saying that she wanted to inspire others through her music. And like I said, even though I feel like she was really talking about, at least mostly about singing, she had kind of inspired me to risk going out my shell and start making YouTube videos. But I didn't start making YouTube videos in 2013 because I was still pretty nervous. And plus I was kind of going through a hard time with my mom having cancer, and around that time she was going through a procedure. Thankfully she's cancer free now. But so really at that time I didn't really have much time to do videos. So then unfortunately 2 years ago in June, well, she was on this tour, and she was in Orlando, Florida, which happens to be, I was in Orlando, Florida too, at Disney World, with a few of my friends and my sister, who works at Disney as well. My sister works at Disney. Christina Grimmie was also in Orlando, Florida. She had her concert and stuff. She was signing autographs, as she usually did. Mm. Then one of her fans shot her in cold blood, only because he was jealous that she had found this other guy that she fell in love with, and it wasn't this guy. And rumors has it that he was a clueless lover boy who had a thing for Christina, and kind of had the mindset of, if I can't have her, no one can. So he shot her. He also shot himself. He killed himself. He killed Christina Grimmie, unfortunately. So I guess in a way, her death was like one or two things that pushed me into making a YouTube channel. Which I was going to make a YouTube channel eventually, just also kind of helped when I have a brother who is like 3 years older than me. He was saying, "Hey, Philippe," being my real name. "Hey, Philippe, you should definitely make some YouTube channels." And if I remember, he was saying that I should make a YouTube channel, uh, upload some videos where I give my thoughts or reviews and stuff about pretty much talk about stuff that interests me on YouTube. So my brother and Christina Grammy are the two reasons, are the two things that pushed me into making a YouTube channel and start making videos. And hold on, I don't know where it is. Oh, that's where it is. But anyways, I'm back. And so each video I make, even if when it's live stream, it's kind of like a nod to both Christina Grammy and my wonderful brother. It's kind of like a thank you. Yeah, it's kind of like a thank you for uh, pushing me into making my brother. It's thank you for my brother for pushing me, and thank you to Christina Grammy to inspire me to make YouTube channels. I mean YouTube videos, I should say. Channels, videos. And in a way, each video I do also honors Christina. I want to honor. It's kind of like honoring Christina Grammy's memory because, like I said, she kind of inspired me to make YouTube videos. And I always wanted, when I had my YouTube channel, when I was thinking about making a YouTube channel, I always wanted her to possibly guest star on a future video of mine. Unfortunately, that cannot happen because of that asshole killed her 2 years ago. But I also have 25 subscribers, which thank you guys for subscribing. That's definitely a milestone. I had this YouTube channel for 2 years now, got 25 subscribers. Always am thankful, or whatever, or I should say, I always could use more. So please tell your friends about me. Share this video and other videos. Ring the little bell if you for when you guys for when I upload videos, you guys can be notified as soon as a video gets uploaded or when I'm live streaming as I am now. But yeah, I couldn't really do this without your guys' wonderful support. So yeah, thank you. I want to be an actor like professionally when I'm older. Kind of like what Mark Hamill does. I want to uh be an actor in movies, but also I want to do some voice acting. So acting and voice acting, which voice acting is acting with your voice, which is in the title for those of you who doesn't know what voice acting is. And my favorite voice actor of all time is James Arnold Taylor. And most of you might know James Arnold Taylor for doing Obi-Wan Kenobi's voice in the Clone Wars cartoons. He was Obi-Wan Kenobi in like the 2002 Clone Wars series and that 2008 Clone Wars series. Even though I kind of wish the 2008 Clone Wars series that Disney will let Dave Filoni have like the proper ending, do a proper ending to that series, because I can tell that he was planning to wrap things up in season 6, but then that's when Lucasfilms got bought out by Disney, and so kind of like canceled Star Wars: The Clone Wars. And with the exception of The Clone Wars, everything that or the one with Ahsoka Tano, that version, everything that came before, everything that came before Disney bought Lucasfilms got like wiped out in the Star Wars universe. So now everything that was canon before then is now legends. As I said, with the exception of The Clone Wars. And since Dave Filoni just wrapped up Star Wars Rebels, it would be nice to see him having a chance to wrap up the Clone Wars. Because like I said, it was clear that he was trying to wrap up the Clone Wars before Disney bought out the, Star Wars and canceled it. My favorite character of the Clone Wars is Ahsoka Tano, because yes, she was a bit too snippy in the Clone Wars movie, but as the series progressed, we saw her grow into a mature Jedi who eventually became like a Grey Jedi in the Rebels show. And it'd be quite awesome to see Ahsoka Tano meeting Luke Skywalker. I don't really have a reason, except for Ahsoka Tano being my favorite Clone Wars and debatably my favorite Rebels character, and Luke Skywalker being my favorite Jedi of all time. And yes, it's on my bucket list to meet both James Arnold Taylor, my favorite voice actor, and Mark Hamill, one of my most favorite actors of all time. And Clone Wars, yeah, I kind of wish that would come back for like at least just for one last season, kind of like what they did with Samurai Jack. Because you know, Samurai Jack went off, like got canceled, I think, and then like last year it got picked up to have its to allow it to have its final season or a proper ending. And I kind of hope that Disney will kind of let Dave Filoni pull Samurai Jack in a sense of picking it back up and have that sort of a proper ending. And I know I said that 3 times already, or 2 times, whatever, multiple times. And yeah, speaking of Disney, I know there's a lot of Last Jedi haters. I actually enjoy The Last Jedi, and I'm not gonna be blind here. Yeah, that movie had its flaws. And there are some things that I would have changed. For example, Luke Skywalker dying. Now, I get that they were trying to have the old out and, like, get rid of the old characters to make room for the new characters, but I feel it would have been beneficial to like, write Luke Skywalker's death in Episode 9. Kind of like in George Lucas's original cut. Like, like a few weeks ago, it was announced that George Lucas originally had it where Luke trained Leia in the ways of the Force and him dying in Episode 9. Which I'm okay with Luke not, like, us not seeing Luke training Leia in this new trilogy, just seeing how it's been like 30 years since the events of Return of the Jedi. And if George Lucas decided to go back and do like the sequels, like about 10 years after the events of Return of the Jedi, then I would have said, even though I was born then, I would say, okay, let's see Luke train Leia. But seeing how it's been like 30 years since, or The Force Awakens took place like 30 years after the events of Return of the Jedi, I'm okay with not seeing Leia getting trained in the Force. Which I am happy that we got to see Leia use the Force in some way in The Last Jedi. And maybe if Leia's in Episode 9, maybe we can see Leia using more of the Force in Episode 9. Besides just, okay, I'm going to gravitate myself to the ship. And I actually enjoyed that part. To me, that was like one of the most powerful parts in Star Wars history, because in the original trilogy, and in the Force Awakens, we've seen hints of Leia being force sensitive. Like in the end of Empire Strikes Back, we saw after Luke and Vader fought in Cloud City, we hear Luke calling out to Leia. Leia sensing Luke and hearing Luke through the Force. Then Leia, Chewie, and Lando ended up saving Luke. And then in Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, we saw Leia towards the end of Return of the Jedi. Han said after the Death Star blew up, I'm sure Luke wasn't on that thing when it exploded. And then Leia saying, oh cool, like, he wasn't. I can sense it. That was another hint that Leia was force sensitive, but by that time we already knew that Leia was a Skywalker. And then in The Force Awakens, we saw Leia sensing that Kylo Ren killed his own father in cold blood, which that scene is to me one of the best scenes ever in the Star Wars movie, in the Star Wars universe, because that was unexpected. And even to this day, whenever I see that scene, like once Kylo Ren ignites the lightsaber in Han, I'm like, what the hell? Like, that scene never ceases to amaze me. And if I ever have kids, one thing I will do is introduce them to Star Wars at a very young age. I don't care if they don't like Star Wars, I'm forcing them to watch the Star Wars movies. So yeah, it would be awesome to see Leia using more of the Force in Episode 9. And we even saw Leia sensing that Luke died as well in Episode 9. But, we can technically always see Luke come back in Episode 9 as a Force Ghost, regardless of Mark Hamill's interested in Star Wars anymore, because like a few days ago that I don't know if this is rumors or fact, but Mark Hamill was saying that he's not as interested in Star Wars anymore since Han Solo died in The Force Awakens. Carrie Fisher unfortunately has died. Rest her soul. And he feels like, from what I've heard, and like I said, I don't know if this is fairly accurate, so don't quote me, that there's nobody else to really reconnect, which I have to say to that. That's not true. Even as a Force Ghost, he can still reconnect with Lando, which, yeah, Billy D. Williams was kind of hurt that J.J. Abrams didn't pull him, Lando, into Episode 7. And I was kind of mad too at first, but then I kind of realized I'd rather Lando, not getting shoehorned into the movie just for the heck of it. I'd rather have Lando getting put into the movie that makes sense to the story. In The Last Jedi, it would have been it would make sense to see Lando in the Last Jedi. Like, besides having Maz Kanata telling, uh, what, Finn and Poe and Rose go to cancel Bite, maybe have Lando tell them, besides Maz Kanata, or have Lando say, "Oh yeah, I am not the code breaker you're looking for." But I feel like that would, even if it was for like what 5 minutes, I think having Lando in the Last Jedi would have been beneficial to the story. And if Lando Calrissian is not in Episode 9, I'll be extremely pissed. Now, hopefully he'll have a pretty decent role in Episode 9, but I wouldn't mind see Lando for 5 minutes. Just see him in there. Just as a cameo saying, "Hey guys, yeah, I wasn't in The Force Awakens. I wasn't in The Last Jedi, but here I am. I'm in whatever the title the episode 9 is going to be." So it'd be awesome, as Jeremy John says, awesome-tacular to see Lando in episode 9. Billy D. Williams come back in episode 9. No, Nemo. But here's, speaking of Lando, with being solo Star Wars story coming out next month, I'm still not excited for the movie, or I shouldn't say excited. I'm still not too happy that there's a Han Solo movie that is coming out. But the last trailer did get me a bit excited. I'll admit that. And a lot of people are saying, "Hey, why don't the Han Solo movie might as well be a Lando Calrissian movie?" And I gotta admit, might as well, because a lot of people are more excited for Lando in the Solo movie than Han in the Solo movie. And I feel like it would make a lot more sense to see a Lando based movie, because last night me and my brother had a conversation. Now my brother's not a big Star Wars fan. He was saying that it would have made more sense to have a Lando Calrissian movie than a Han Solo movie, because we got to see less Lando in general than we got to see Han Solo, which makes sense. I honestly have to agree with that. That is a pretty good reason. For that reason, I have to agree with my brother. And speaking of spin-offs that we want, which hopefully Disney, like the guy who uploads the videos on the Geeks and Gamer YouTube channel, I'm hoping that Lucasfilms will eventually listen to us fans of seeing, like, okay, what does the fans want us to see? Because without us fans, Star Wars wouldn't be as big as it is today. So Kathleen Kennedy, I'm not trying to really be like throwing any punches or being an asshole to anyone or targeting anyone else. Target anyone. But hopefully, since Kathleen Kennedy is the president and creative president of Lucasfilms, I can't hope but kind of point this mostly towards her, that I kind of want you guys to listen more to us fans than what you guys want, because really, like I said before, without us fans, Star Wars wouldn't be as big as it is. And yes, like Geeks and Gamers, the guy who uploads the Star Wars videos saw on this warpath, against Kathleen Kennedy on Geeks and Gamer. Yes, I have to agree. I'm all up for female power, but as long as it doesn't interfere with the story. And I can, I honestly can, as much as I like The Last Jedi, I can see why people dislike The Last Jedi. Because Rian Johnson kind of like ignored a lot of what J.J. Abrams did in The Force Awakens. And yes, J.J. Abrams can still save, like, what Rian Johnson did with The Last Jedi about Rey's parents not being special. J.J. Abrams has enough room to say, oh yeah, Kylo Ren was lying. Rey's parents are special. She could be as some people are wanting as a Kenobi. Which if that is the case, then I hope that means back when Satine was alive in the Clone Wars, Obi-Wan might have slipped up in the Jedi Code a bit. I kind of messed around with Satine, if you know what I'm talking about, and made her pregnant. But Satine, but here's the cool part. Satine hiding the fact that she was pregnant from Obi-Wan and hiding the fact that Obi-Wan had a kid on the pure just so he won't get like banned from the Jedi Order. But having the kid know, hey yeah, Obi-Wan's my father. But then somehow before Obi-Wan went off to train Luke, Obi-Wan found out that he had a child by Satine, and maybe that child had Rey. And I was kind of having this conversation with a guy in a Kylo Ren outfit at C2E2, that if Rey is Luke Skywalker's daughter, which I am hoping she is a Skywalker, that I don't, even if she's Leia's and Han's daughter, which technically she'll also be a Skywalker and Kylo Ren's brother, besides cousin. Regardless, if she is Luke's daughter or Han and Leia's daughter, have like this kind of like memory wipe, introduce like this memory wipe, where when she was dropped off to Jakku, there's this like somebody did this memory wipe so she won't remember who her parents are, and that will also kind of in a sense explain how she was so good at using the Force, because she was trained in the ways of the Force, and with a memory wipe, back of her brain still remembers how to use the Force, but she doesn't remember being trained to use the Force. I don't know. That's just a theory I'm putting out there, J.J. Abrams. But yeah, I'm still hoping she's a Skywalker, and J.J. Abrams still has wiggle room to retcon what Rian Johnson did with Rey's parentage. And in terms of Luke Skywalker, I do, regardless of Mark Hamill is less interested in Star Wars now, I am still hoping to see Luke Skywalker come back in Episode 9, but as a Force Ghost. But a really badass Force Ghost. And it'd be kind of cool to see. And yes, I'm on that train with some fans wanting to see Snoke to come back as a Force Ghost too. To see Luke and Snoke have this epic Force Ghost battle, because that hasn't really been established yet in the Star Wars universe, and I hope that gets established in the Star Wars universe. Because remember, before Attack of the Clones came out, there was no mention of you can clone yourself. Episode 2 came out. There is it was established that cloning yourself was possible. And then Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2, they had it where Darth Vader had cloned Starkiller, which was the Secret Apprentice. With BTW, I'm hoping that they'll bring in uh they let Starkiller at the very least be canon again, because it'd be cool to hear him, like have him be like Darth Vader's secret apprentice in like the Empire time, obviously, and then possibly have a movie called The Force Unleashed based off the game. But besides have him dying, have him live. Which, if you did the dark side ending for The Force Unleashed 2, then you say that Starkiller did survive. But I mean, like, have him survive where nobody knows that he's alive, survived. The Empire and the Rebels doesn't know that Starkiller survived. And, pretty much keeping most of what was in The Force Unleashed the same. But then have him come into episode 9, at the very end of episode 9, and possibly Ahsoka Tano come back at the very end of episode 9 and help Rey establish the Jedi Order, per se. Alright, if when Dave Filoni makes a new Star Wars show, which obviously he's most likely going to bring Ahsoka Tano back, reintroduce Starkiller into this canon first. I mean, he already did with General Thrawn. Why not have the same for Starkiller? Because that would be cool. And going back to the Han Solo trailer, I saw Chewie having a lady friend over there. So I'm guessing Chewbacca had a girlfriend or a wife. And I gotta ask, does that Christmas special count as canon? Because I know that George Lucas kind of bought all the copies because he figured the Christmas special was horrible. And I've heard that went into Chewbacca's family back on Kashyyyk. So does that count as canon? And if that does, then since I've never seen the Christmas special, mostly because I wasn't born when the Christmas special or the original trilogy was released in theaters. What did Chewbacca ever find a lady friend? And did Chewbacca ever have any children? Leave a comment below, please. But I know Chewbacca has a life debt to Han, and in the now Legends, Chewbacca had died instead of Han. And in this new canon verse, I find it interesting how J.J. Abrams pretty much decided to do a reverse. So that was an interesting move. And Bufford, there's like no communication whatsoever with this new trilogy, because which kind of looks like there isn't, with how Rian Johnson kind of dismissed like most of the things J.J. Abrams did in The Last Jedi, especially with Rey's vision. I mean, I also said this before to a few people. The Knights of Ren wasn't in The Last Jedi, and I'm cool with that. But now that Kylo Ren is now the Supreme Leader, maybe the Knights of Ren can be his new royal guards per se. Keep the helmets the same as the Knights of Ren, just be his royal guard. Kind of be a different outlook. Because the royal guards in The Last Jedi did resemble the royal guards in the Emperor's royal guards. And like I said in the when I brought The Last Jedi up before, I liked the movie. I actually enjoyed The Last Jedi. Could there was some rooms in the movie where it could have used some improvements, but overall I did enjoy the movie. Now I kind of wish that they kept the deleted scene where Luke kind of took in the news that Han Solo died, because that was really powerful, and that only lasted like what, a minute? I think Ryan Johnson could have spared a minute, especially since The Last Jedi was the longest Star Wars movie. But yeah, I feel like J.J. Abrams could have kept that part in the movie. Also, that alternative Captain Phasma's death scene. Because he could have Captain Phasma in The Last Jedi. And I'm kind of... That's one of my complaints. As much as I like the movie, that's one of my complaints about the movie. Personally, especially since Kathleen Kennedy is trying to promote girl power. They only had Captain Phasma for like 10 minutes, or a little bit less than 10 minutes, in the entire movie. And I'm really disappointed that they underused Captain Phasma. They even underused her more than they did with Boba Fett in the original trilogy. And speak of Boba Fett, which this is kind of like a little criticism for Dave Filoni. Even though I like the Clone Wars, I like Rebels, but Dave Filoni, you kind of missed your opportunity to use Boba Fett in Rebels. Like, make him more of a badass. You had a great opportunity to have Boba Fett as a badass in Star Wars Rebels. And yeah, just missed opportunity. And I wish I could have seen Boba Fett in Rebels. That's all I'm saying, is that you could have used Boba Fett in Rebels. What else? There's a lot of things. So, Avengers Infinity War, it looks pretty cool. I've seen the trailers, and I'm kind of beginning to not want to watch trailers anymore, because there are so many exciting parts in the trailers that ends up not being casted in the movies. Like, that fan stick, as Brady once likes to call it, was just that last Fantastic Four movie, which was a piece of shit. They had so many scenes in the trailer that looked pretty cool, but in the final cut, a lot of those scenes weren't in the movie. And they only really had 2 action scenes in the final cut of the movie, which was the scene where the Fantastic Four plus Doom got their powers, pretty much, like in that other dimension, like showing us that they were exposed to some sort of element, got their powers, blah blah blah. And then the final fight, which was disappointing. And hypothetically, if that movie ever has a sequel, have more action scenes, still kind of focus on the story, but have more action scenes, damn it. Because that was, like, I feel like the biggest complaint fans had was it didn't really have any action scenes. It was 90% of the movie was build up. Build up, build up, build up. Oh my god, it's an action scene! Build up, build up, build up. Where's the action scene? Build up, build up, build up. Oh my god, it's finally the action scene! Okay, this is after the action scene. Okay, they leaving off, like, if there's a sequel, which I doubt that they'll ever make a sequel. But yeah, that Fantastic Four movie was disappointing. And I actually liked the Fantastic Four movie where Chris Evans was the Human Torch because that was entertaining. And just if you wanted to be in the MCU, just be in a Fantastic Four movie. Be the Human Torch. Have that Fantastic Four movie bomb, and there you go. That's your ticket into being into the MCU. Cause Chris Evans was the Human Torch. Even though I like both of the Fantastic Four movies he was in, but I've heard that a lot of people didn't like the Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer movie. And now he's Captain America. Michael B. Fox? Michael B. Jordan, he was a Human Torch in that god awful Fantastic Four movie. And now he is Killmonger in Black Panther, who is... I honestly wished that he survived, only because I feel like Killmonger is the best Marvel villain since Loki. Because Loki in the Avengers was pretty good. He was just... Yeah, he was a jealous brother, step-brother, adopted brother, whatever, who lived in the shadows of Thor, who wanted to have some acknowledgement, and that kind of like drove him kind of mad, and he was kind of just revolting, both in the first Thor movie and the Avengers. But I feel like I liked Loki better in the Avengers, cause yeah. So yeah, Killmonger is my favorite Marvel hero since Loki in the Avengers. And oh yeah, so the origins of my YouTube channel, which I also kind of got from my PlayStation account, which is Phil TMNT22. And the Phil part is my nickname, because my most common nickname, because I got a few nicknames like Phil, Philip. When people are lazy enough where they can't pronounce my actual name, when I introduce them, hey, my name is Philippe. Philippe? No, Philippe. Philippe? I said Philippe. I didn't say Philippe. There's no actual E in Philippe. It's not Philippe. But there are two people, my mom being included, as one of the two, who just calls me Felipe as a nickname, which I don't care. As long as that person knows how to pronounce my name correctly, I don't care if that person calls me Felipe. And then there's girls calls me Philly, guys calls me Philly cheesesteak. There's Philip, Philly, Felipe. A good friend of mine that's now gone, rest his soul. He used to call me Shadow because we used to play hide and seek, and I used to always sneak up on him and scare him. So that's how I got my name Shadow. And the TMNT part is because I'm a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan, especially back then. And I didn't get into Star Wars. I didn't really watch Star Wars until I was 11. My brother kind of like introduced me to the show beforehand, like the movies beforehand. The Star Wars The Clone Wars show, the 2002 version Clone Wars show. But I thought at the time it was a stupid concept. But then Revenge of the Sith was my very first Star Wars movie when I was 11, and I fell in love. I fell in love with that movie. So I went back to watch The Phantom Menace. I went in order, and at that time there was only 6 Star Wars movies: the prequels and the original trilogy. And this was back before Lucasfilms bought Disney, or was bought out by Disney. Before Lucasfilm was part of the Disney team. But now there's gonna be like 15 Star Wars movies. Like the Ryan the prequels, the original trilogy, the sequel trilogy, which is 12, plus these standalone movies, which is another 3, which is 15, 15, 16, 17, 18. And then Ryan Johnson's trilogy, which is 18. And then after there's also another trilogy that was announced outside of Ryan Johnson's trilogy, which is like 21 Star Wars movies, which, as a Star Wars nerd, I'm in heaven. But I have to agree with the guy who's on this warpath of Star Wars, of Kathleen Kennedy, pretty much, who really does the videos for geeks and gamers. Kathleen Kennedy is on this women power mission for Star Wars to have women, girls, to be the main lead, so female power. I'm all out for that. As long as that doesn't get in the way of the story, bring it. I'm always happy for new Star Wars movies, because in my mind and heart, there can never be too much Star Wars. There could be like 50 Star Wars movies, and now I'm giving Lucasfilms ideas. There could be 50 Star Wars movies, millions video games with Lucasfilms. You need to get on that. A few dozen Star Wars shows, and that still wouldn't be too much Star Wars for me. Of course, I say that now. After that, then ask me again. But no, oh yeah, and then the Sorting 2 port in my PlayStation Network account. The 22 is supposed to be a nod to the day I was born. Because I was born on February 22nd. And this year was my golden birthday. So yippee! Happy belated golden birthday to you, Philippe. And, yeah. Hold on, I gotta kind of do this now. There we go, hey! But yeah, that was my, So yeah, the 22 was supposed to be a nod to my birthday. The TMNT port is supposed to be a nod to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and how much of a fan I am to the Ninja Turtles. The Phil port is supposed to be a nod to me being... Oh, Phil being my nickname. My most common, by the way. Anyways, my macaroni and cheese is done. My hot dogs are done. I better charge my phone so I can do another live stream soon. So I'll catch you guys later. It was nice talking to you guys. And if you guys want me to do a Q&A, a live Q&A, just let me know, and I'll arrange that for you guys. So happy to connect with you guys. It's my pleasure. I had a fun time with you guys. So talk to you later, fellow mutant animals.